So we all know what happened with the Bears Packers blowout. At least that lightning delay sort of helped that blowout, get less painful. Oh, jeez. So starting off with the Saints and Dolphins in week number 4. This game is played in Wembley Stadium in London, and I think the Dolphins are going to win this game. Here, I'll explain why. The Dolphins have a better receiving core. Kenny Vaccaro is almost one of the only corners that the Saints have that can cover. They let go of Brandon Cooks, so offensively, now you got Michael Thomas, and they lost all their... See, I don't know why the New Orleans Saints traded all their weapons, because all they needed was a more explosive offense to shoot out, because they're not going to win with this young... Now, their defense is good, but it's young, so it still needs to kind of develop and, help out and help around. So I think Jay Cutler uses Devontae Parker and Kenny Stills and Jarvis Landry and wins this game. Last second field goal against the Chargers. Bills Falcons in Mercedes-Benz. The Falcons with that last week scathed by last week, almost lost, but the Bills actually had that surprising upset against the Broncos. That was crazy. I can't believe they beat the Broncos after the Broncos went and destroyed the Cowboys too. Nuts. I think the Falcons take this game because their offense is very explosive. Devontae Freeman, they made the Super Bowl for a reason, right? Julio Jones. I thought he was going to bounce back last week. He will bounce back this week. He still had a lot of receiving yards, just no touchdowns yet. He's a little injured, I heard. I think this one will be a little bit more interesting than people think it will be. I think people have to start giving Tyrod Taylor credit now that the Bills are playing actually kind of decently. Or maybe it's just the coaching change. Maybe Rex Ryan just wasn't cutting it for them. But, I think the Falcons take this in the second half. I think Matt Ryan tosses 4 touchdowns. He only has 4 on the season, but I think he'll toss 4 in this one. Good game. Bengals-Browns. The Bengals, they were really close in that game against the Packers, but that's because the Packers has no defense. They played well in that game, and I think it'll carry on to this one. I think they will beat the Browns. The Browns, they're in some games. They're not in a lot of them, but they play really well, and they're able to compete. So I think I'm going to give this one to the Bengals, though, because I just think A.J. Green, is better than A.J. Green, I think he'll dominate in this game. That's why. Sorry. I just think, I don't trust Andy Dalton too much, but at the same time, I don't think Deshaun Kaiser will get his first win just yet. I thought it was going to happen, against the Colts, but the Colts came prepared for that game, and I think the Bengals will come prepared for this one, I don't think they'll go 0-4, Still think Marvin Lewis will be canned. Rams-Cowboys. Rams playing well, looking promising after that. They sort of had kind of a bye week because they played last Thursday. The Cowboys, they have a short week, so I think this game will be, I don't know. Honestly, that Cowboys defense is really, really bad, so I think this game will go like how the Cardinals game went, where it was close in the first half, and then the Cowboys will kind of just pull away, I think that Rams defense keeps them a real fighting chance in this game. The Rams defense is really, really good. Plus, the Rams are always patent for losing those close games. So I think Ezekiel Elliott will score a late touchdown and help the Cowboys power. I think the Cowboys, I don't know. No score prediction. I think they'll win by 4 or 5. I think it'll be an interesting game, for both teams in terms of assessments. The Cowboys will get a strong test from a strong defense, obviously. I don't know if Aaron Donald is playing or not, but still think the Rams are like that team, they're on the edge of being something great if they get some pieces to work. Lions, Vikings. The Vikings actually huge game last week for Case Keenum. Did not see that coming at all. I think Matthew Stafford has missed the fourth quarter. Last week, obviously, that didn't work. But I think that's what's going to happen in this game. I think the Lions are going to go down early, and Mr. Fourth Quarter is going to show up. Matthew Stafford's really showing why he gets paid so much right now. Matthew Stafford, they're playing some good teams, too. The Lions, they're playing solid football right now. I guess they just can't put it together in the playoffs, but right now they're playing solid football. I think the Lions will get this in the fourth quarter. I think it'll be a last-minute touchdown to somebody. Golden Tate, one of their receiving cores, or, field goal even. Yeah, but it's being played in Minnesota. That stadium, I heard, is killing birds. Oh, Jesus. Killing birds. When was the last time you heard of that in the NFL? Jeez. That stadium is just, I don't know, it's not a disaster. It's just It's not working out too well. Panthers, Patriots. I think this one is intriguing. Panthers lost last week, but I think the Patriots were really close last week too, but they pulled it out. I think the Patriots get this one. The Panthers defense is falling off ever since Josh Norman left. Josh Norman was that defense, I feel like, because they had 0 corners and they needed those corners, and then they got rid of Josh Norman. So now they have to develop young talent, and it hasn't been working. And Cam Newton's a little banged up as well, so I don't see the Panthers. I don't see a scenario where the Panthers win this game. I think Tom Brady will go off in this game. Tom Brady had 5 touchdowns last week. I think he'll continue that trend. I think he'll get 4 or 5 this week. I think it'll be at least a 2-touchdown win for the Patriots. I think the Patriots will pull away in the second half. I think Cam will try to put up a good fight, but I don't see what this Panthers defense won't help him. And the offensive line is a little bit weak. This defense is weak for the Patriots, but it's not that weak. Jaguars, Jets. The Jaguars have been. I mean, I don't know if I should really buy into the hype. They've been playing kind of weak teams. So, I mean, they have been playing weak teams, but I don't know if I should really buy into this hype. So, but I'm taking the Jaguars here because I think the Jets will finally realize that they need to plank. Jets had a huge win last week that they probably shouldn't have gotten because they should probably try to plank. I know they're trying to get Sam Darnold. I think the Jaguars win this one easily. I think it's a 2-touchdown game. I like how Blake Bortles is sort of making a little comeback this year. Jags 3-1. I don't know. Their defense is really, really good. It all comes down to Blake Bortles at the end of the day. So we'll have to see what happens with them. I think the Jaguars win this one easily though. In New York, where they got that big win last week. It's just nice. The Jags. With all those defensive pieces finally trying to come together. Steelers, Ravens up in here in Baltimore. Yeah, it's in Sorry about that there, the little minor delay in the audio. The Ravens in Baltimore. So I think the Ravens will take this one. I think they will bounce back. I know they lost to the Jags really, really bad last week, but I don't think the Steelers are really playing their best football right now. I know the Steelers had a good win last week, but I'm not seeing the Steelers play their best football right now. And with the Steelers losing to the Bears and everything, I think the Ravens are gonna bounce back. I think the Ravens are gonna take this game. These rivalry games are always tricky because they're very, very interesting and very highly contested. So it won't really matter who's who, as long as the talent distribution, like I said last week, I was talking about this mostly last week. When the talent distribution is almost the same on both sides, can't really tell much of a difference. So I'm taking the Ravens. I think Joe Flacco throws a late touchdown. And I think the Ravens get this win to go 3-1. Titans, Texans. This is in Houston. I think Marcus Mariota will have more trouble with this defense. Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt gave Tom Brady a bunch of problems. And Whitney Mercilus played so well. He forced so many fumbles on Tom Brady. And Deshaun Watson also showed what he can kind of do with his arm, which is why I'm picking the Houston Texans this week. I like the Titans. They upsetted the Seahawks last week, like I predicted, but I just don't see the possibility where Marcus Mariota can really overcome that defense. That defense is really, really solid. I like Mariota. He's a good quarterback, but I just don't. That defense is really, really good. And Deshaun Watson is kind of developing, so it's going to be a fourth quarter game. And I think the Texans pull it out. They pull it out at the end, despite last week, they pull this one out. 49ers, Cardinals. I'm going to take the 49ers. Nope, never mind. I'm going to take the Cardinals. The Cardinals played really, really well. They showed more flashes. I know the Cowboys defense is a little bit weaker than most defenses, but they showed some flashes last week of being a good team. So I think it will continue. I think they will, I think this is a good stepping stone for them. I think this will help them out a lot. Big win. I think this will be a nice win for them. Yeah, big win. Division win, at least. I think they'll win by 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. Without David Johnson, they do look a little flat in the running game when I was watching them. So I think they just need to do more of an air attack. I like Pierre Garçon on the 49ers, but I don't know. I just think that Cardinals D-line is like Chandler Jones and Patrick Peterson. They'll get it done for the Cardinals, even if the offense doesn't. Eagles, Chargers at StubHub. StubHub looks a little empty right now. 0-3 for the Chargers. Ouch. All close games. I think the Eagles, not because of my bias here, but because the Chargers are good at blowing close games, and the Eagles, they're slowly developing, and I think this will actually be a hotly contested game. I don't really believe in my Eagles, but I think they will win this game because Carson Wentz has been playing really well lately, and the defense of the Chargers just isn't looking too great. So I think I'm gonna take Philly. Take Philly probably another 61-yard field goal. Nah, JK. I think they win this one though. Last second field goal. I feel like with Jake Elliott again. And that kicker will probably go and miss another one. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, Philly takes this one. Giants, Buccaneers. I am taking. Okay, so the Buccaneers are a complicated case. Thought they would be back, and now they're kind of sluggish. I don't know why, but I hope they turn around. Both teams are a little sluggish. I do think the Buccaneers will take this one and make the Giants go 0-4. I like the Buccaneers in this matchup because I don't see what the Giants are really doing, and it's just like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of alarming, I've never seen like an Eli team play this bad before. 0-4 with Ben McAdoo. Maybe they shouldn't have fired Coughlin so early, but yeah, dang. Yeah, the Bucs take this. Jameis Winston, fourth quarter game again. The Giants will lose another heartbreaker, I feel like. Buccaneers. I think Jameis Winston is going to get Mike Evans really well in this game. I do know about the Giants D-line. They play really, really well, but not this week. Not this week. I just don't see it happening this week. Raiders, Broncos. This is going to be a nice game. The Raiders both teams kind of came off an upset loss. But I think both teams will recover really well, and this will be a hotly contested game because, like I said earlier, the in-division games are really, really, really fun because they're all competing and they're all giving their best because those are the games they really, 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 really need to win. This game is in Denver, and I do think, however, the Raiders will win this game. The Raiders, last week I think the problem was just like, maybe they were thinking too much, or they were trying to force too many plays. This week, I think they'll be themselves a little bit more. I think they'll play a little bit better this week, honestly. So, yeah, I think he'll throw a couple. I think it'll be a last, probably with 5 minutes left, a touchdown to Crabtree. Another fourth quarter game. This one should be really, really interesting, intriguing. I can't wait for this one, honestly. Gonna be a good one. I feel like Raiders Broncos are always classic games. They got good corners. The Broncos, somewhat decent teams. We'll see. Last year wasn't too competitive, but this year I think it'll be competitive with Vance Joseph. Colts, Seahawks. The Colts, I don't think Andrew Luck is playing. Either way, I take the Seahawks because I think the Seahawks will bounce back. They've already lost 2 games. I don't know. Seahawks are looking really weird this year. Usually they're, a little bit better. But they do this every year usually. They start choking in the beginning, and they go on this winning streak, and everyone's like, oh, the Seahawks are back, and then they choke in the playoffs too. So we'll see what it is with the Seahawks, Try to fix them. They're not fix them, but they just haven't looked like themselves all year yet. So hopefully they'll come back to that formula. I just feel like ever since they lost Marshawn Lynch, they lost all those defensive players. It's been rough for those guys. They just they can't find a formula properly, and they just it's been rough. It's been rough. It's tough because you lose all that stuff, you lose all those people, and then you just sort of like trying to recuperate, and they've just been recuperating for so many years now, so they just need to, get over it and start playing well again. So, Redskins, Chiefs. The Redskins playing another primetime game. The Chiefs extremely, extremely hot right now, playing really, really, really high football right now. They're on another level, personally, for me. I think the Redskins will give them a good competition. I was really blown away by the Redskins' win last week against the Raiders. I predicted them losing that game, but I just think that the Redskins, maybe they found something last week. Maybe they found something good for them, and maybe they want to build on that. So I think the Redskins win this game. I mean, not the Redskins. Sorry, I think the Chiefs win this game. I think it'll be a very, very hotly contested game. This one as well. I see the Redskins as a team that's decent, but they're not good enough to make the playoffs. They were good. They did make the playoffs once with Kirk Cousins, and then I don't think they went very far that year. But I do think this is going to be a close game, and I think the Chiefs will get this one in the fourth quarter again as well. I think Kareem Hunt's gonna go off as well. I do think he's a 1-year fad, but the defenses have limited time right now to prepare for him and game plan for him. So I think right now he's gonna go off, and he's gonna play really, really well in this game, and it's gonna be gonna be a good one for them. So yeah, gonna be an interesting week in the NFL again. Thursday night didn't really show too much potential, but I'm ready for this week. I can't wait for this week. I think this week will have a lot more surprises, and I think some frauds will get exposed in terms of record. So we'll see. Interesting week. Can't wait. Let's do this. I'm waiting for Sunday. But it's just, I don't know. Sometimes, when college football has a bad schedule, the NFL has a better schedule, and then you sort of shy away from college football a little bit. But, Saturday and Sunday, it's always occupied just watching football mostly. That's why you do homework on Fridays and stuff, Get that out of the way. Gonna be a good week. Great.